Alrighty. What is up, you beautiful people? So, in today's YouTube lecture, we are specifically going to be talking about the fastest possible way to scale with prop firms and what is the habits I would instill in myself psychologically and how would I apply these things specifically to then basically be able to scale with prop firms at the fastest rate of return, right? So, starting off, obviously, this is primarily applicable to people who have gotten a payout with one account. If you guys want to watch this for a sense of motivation and understanding specifically of what you should do once you get there, that's fine as well. And the number one thing I will say is stop consuming content that is not applicable to you, right? I love the aspiration and I used to do the exact same things. But when you consume content that is not applicable to you, it makes you start thinking and it makes you start thinking heavily, specifically about everything but what you should be focusing on, right? So the number one thing I want to preface specifically is focus on the habits and the habit building and the psychology building that will allow you to become better at your current stage and what you should be doing currently, right? So first and foremost, right, we need to identify how far are we in our journey, right? How much money do we have? Have we gotten payouts before? And the people that I specifically want to talk to on this video are people who have gotten maybe $2,000 to $10,000 in payouts. They're looking to start scaling, or people who have gotten one payout but have a lot of money from, let's say, a different business, let's say a job that they saved up at, and they're looking to really scale with capital, right? So how I would go about that, right? You're either two people. You're either one, haven't gotten a payout yet, and you're looking to just start getting a lot of payouts, or two, have gotten a payout before and are just looking for what's the best scaling protocol, contract sizing, position wising, all that good stuff, right? Because these are important things that people don't talk about. So we're going to take the first characteristic of the average viewer, right, which would be someone who is, let's say, hasn't got their first payout yet, but is looking to start it to scale. If that's you, don't even focus on scaling. Focus on habit building, because when you start associating the outcome of trading with, let's say, money, right, you start doing irrational decisions on a day-to-day basis while you trade, right? You start thinking, well, if I can just make X amount, or you start correlating a payout to the amount of money you can make, or you start correlating a payout to a tangible thing you can buy. Oh, well, if I just get 3 payouts, then I can go buy X car. Or if I just get 5 payouts, I can go buy X watch, right? You start associating these tangible assets, and then the only thing and the only person you are hurting by doing that is you, right? And the reason why that is specifically because of the fact that when you start associating trading, right, with the outcome of tangible assets, you start rushing the process, you start rushing the outcome, which then allows you to blow your account and overall just take poor risk and poor trades, right? So if you haven't gotten a payout yet, this is the strategy for you, right? You will first go get a normal cheap contracts or normal cheap position sizing and account sizing, right? Whether that be a 50K, a 25K, a 100K account, right? Go get one of those accounts, right? Then from there, once you can prove yourself to pass that account and get 1 to 2 payouts, right? Then from there you start focusing on scaling, right? And the thing I want to preface is the contract sizing amount you guys should be trading is obviously all variable depending on your account size, right? What is typically applicable to all account sizes is 5 micros to 1 mini contract, specifically on NASDAQ, right? And this is important to obey and abide by this law specifically, because the moment you start scaling, surpass that, right? Majority of you guys are not ready to exceed that contract sizing, right? And you can still make a lot of money trading 5 micros to 1 mini contract, right? If we do the math, right, let's say we're capturing 50 points every time we trade, which is very healthy and very doable. Let's say we're trading 1 mini contract. That equivalates to $1,000 every time we take a trade, right? $1,000, you do that. Let's say you have a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, right? So that means you're losing roughly $333 per losing trade. So if, let's say, you have a decent win rate, you're losing 2 times a week and you're winning 3 times a week, right? That would put your P&L somewhere at $3,000 a week, roughly. which equates to $12,000 a month. Very doable, very healthy, and you should be able to get a payout, right, with that structure alone, right? And the contract sizing of what I would do is, if you guys feel you are ready to start upping your contract sizing, base it off of how much is in the account. So what I like telling my Discord members is, for every 1% that you make on that account, you can up roughly 5 to 7 micro contracts. So for example, let's say you're trading one mini contract, right? And let's say you make 1% on that funded account. Then from there, you can up to 15 micros or 17 micros, right? Let's say you make another percent with 17 micros. Then from there, you can up it to roughly 2 to 25 micros, right? 2 mini contracts or 25 micro contracts, right? The biggest thing is, when we're winning and we're noticing consistency, we want to start upping size. When we're losing, we want to reverse Martingale, essentially, right? Instead of betting more, we bet less when we lose and bet more when we're winning, right? And this strategy specifically, I have noticed, has allowed me to rinse prop firms, right? Get consistent payouts. Just today, I literally just did that today. I took a trade with 4 mini contracts. I made $1,600, and then coming into the PM session, I originally took 4 mini contract trade, and then I added 4 mini contracts while I got the trade confirmation, right? So specifically, when I got confirmation that the trade is running higher, I then said, okay, now it's time to up my risk. I'm going to now trade 8 mini contracts, right? And then from there, I made $3,000 on that one trade, right? And what I'm saying, right, I made 2% in one trade. And what I'm saying is, you need to capitalize on when you are right, and you need to cut when you are wrong, right? And that's a cliche term that a lot of people talk about, right? And I want to preface something. You need to do that, right? Because trading is not a thing where you can just have a fiat number and just lose or win every single time, right? In order to scale, you need to put on more risk on the table. So the one thing I recommend you guys do the most is reverse Martingale, right? When you are up, increase your contract sizing. When you are down, decrease your contract sizing, right? And this will ultimately allow for longevity if you have an extreme edge over the marketplace, right? If you have a win rate above 70%, this is applicable for you. Now, if you have a very bad win rate that is proven with data, let's say you have a 30% win rate, 40% win rate, this is not applicable for you, right? This is specifically applicable for people with anywhere from above a 60 to 80% win rate, right? In that general range, this is applicable for you, because you know, based off of your strategy, you have a healthy risk to reward ratio, in turn with a healthy win rate, right? Which will allow you to be able to practice the reverse Martingale strategy, right? Once you get your first 1 to 2 payouts, right? What I would do and what I would structure for every single one of you guys is specifically, right, spend on more evals. Do not be scared to spend that money, right? In my early stages, when I got my first couple of payouts, I felt like the man. I felt like this was it. I felt like I had it all, and then I ended up spending all that money instead of buying more evaluations. And that hurt me so bad, because if I had that money, I would have saved myself headaches of trying to find a job, get more money to buy more evals, this and that. And ultimately, I would have been able to fast track my success at a much faster rate of return, right? So what I'm telling you here is, when you get your first couple of payouts, don't buy designer clothes, don't buy that new phone you wanted, don't buy that new laptop you wanted, don't buy any of these things. Continuously invest back into more evaluations. And when you get to the point of being able to copy trade 5 to 10 funded accounts, then from there, right, you can get payouts of serious money that will allow you to buy the fun things, right? So the things like new laptop, new phone, go on trips, right, eat out, all those things are achievable once you're copy trading 5 to 10 funded accounts, right? Because if you get a $2,000 payout on one account, but simultaneously amongst 10 accounts, right, that's $20,000 every time you do that. You do that once, even maybe twice a month, you, my friend, are a very rich person, right? It's very easy, guys. This whole structure is very easy, very realistic, and very attainable. The problem is you have deep-rooted issues psychologically that block your perception of being able to do this, right? So as we are scaling and trading, we need to identify how we can reprogram our subconscious mind to allow us to think that this is a possible thing that we can do. once we have reprogrammed our subconscious mind, and once, right, we specifically have the confidence in ourselves to be able to understand, hey, I have an edge over the marketplace that majority of people do not have, and I'm going to risk more and scale heavier because I know my risk at the end of the day is proven and backed by data. The problem is majority of you guys trade without data and without collection of data, which then equivalates directly into not knowing the statistics about your strategy. I guarantee you 90 to 95% of day traders don't even know what their yield year-to-date win percentage is based off statistics, back testing, forward testing, true data on live accounts, right? Obviously, back testing data is not extremely accurate because of the fact that there's no emotions involved. You can just click a button and it doesn't affect your bank account. But it's probably the most realistic metric we can get other than actual data, specifically from actually taking those trades, right? But backtesting allows us and is a tool that allows us to find these statistical data about our edge and see if it's true to itself year to date, right? Multiple years out of the whole life expectancy, right? So my biggest message is for those people who are dead broke right now, who are trying to scale in funded accounts, do not be scared to spend more money on evaluations. And the reason why that is because you're limiting your growth, right, on doing that, right? You want to just continue down the route of one funded account because you think it's simple. You think, okay, I'm guaranteed to get a payout on one funded account. I don't know about 5 or 10. You start feeling all jittery and all emotional. If you guys want to make serious money on trading, and trading specifically, once you have your edge, you need to spend a lot of money on evaluations. And it's going to hurt. Like spending $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on evaluations, it's going to hurt, right? But it's a mandatory process in which we need to do, right, to break out of the habits of our previous self in trading, right? You can't stay at one funded account for the rest of your life and expect to see real results, right? You need multiple accounts. You need to copy trade multiple accounts simultaneously and get payouts from those accounts, right, in order to be able to scale in trading, right? That is the fastest and most realistic way to have the real ability to be able to scale in the marketplace. If you're doing anything else, right, the probability of you being able to scale is relatively low, right? Sure, you can flip a live account from $500 or $1,000 to $10,000, but if you did that, that means you over leveraged, you over traded, right? You weren't in the right headspace, which those are all habits you are practicing for the future self, right? And I fucked up really bad because I traded for a really long time and I had a lot of mental baggage that carried with that and a lot of mental things that I had to go into my brain to basically rewire my subconscious mind in the way that I think, right? In order to be able to scale and have the capability to scale, right? A lot of people will constantly comment on my TikToks and talk about, how are you trading that many contract sizings? Like, how do you have the balls to take 8 mini contracts, 10 mini contracts, even 15 mini contracts at a time? And what I'll tell you guys is I got to a point in my journey where I genuinely do not care about the outcome. If I win or if I lose, it's just another day in the office. I come back tomorrow and it's the same thing that will repeat every single day because I know my edge has roughly, based off of statistical data, 80 to 90%, right? Year-to-date win rate, right? This is based off data. For my Discord members that joined in, right, and backtest the model, you guys have this core understanding as well. It's not just me. And that's the nice part, right? It's not just me who has the statistics and the statistical data, right? It's other people as well. So the biggest thing I will say is really make an effort to collect data to then have confidence to correlate back into when you start copy trading. Because the emotions, you'll start feeling them once you start copy trading, right? So in summary, get one funded account, prove yourself that you can get 1 or 2 withdrawals on that funded account, then go buy 3 evaluations. Try to pass those, try to get 1 payout from each. Now you got $6,000 to $10,000. Boom, now we go get 3 more. Now we have 6 evaluations or 6 funded accounts. We copy trade them. Boom, now we go for a 2-3K payout each. Awesome, that's a $15,000 to $20,000 payout, right? And we consistently refine our edge by doing so and then correlate that back into having the ability to scale, right? It's so interesting because a lot of people don't talk about scaling and trading. Like, how do we properly have a scaling protocol, right? And you need to do it based off of risk. You need to do it based off of capital. And you need to do it based off of your specific financial position, right? So you need to ask yourself, how much money do I have to my name right now? Do I have a lot of runway, specifically for overhead for me and my family? Do I have all these things? If the case is yes, then I would say start investing into evaluations and buy multiple at a time, right? Because it's a mental barrier in which you're going to have to get over. But at the end of the day, the sooner you are able to get over the mental barrier, the faster you are able to make a boatload of money. Applying specifically this to people who have a high win rate and edge in the marketplace. If you do not have an edge and you are still stuck on trading, the fastest way to be able to get good at trading is to join a mentorship or a Discord, right? I have a Discord, I have a mentorship that I'm very proud of. I'm not one of these scamming dorks, right? I'm very proud specifically of my Discord, and we are growing. I think we literally have the number one fastest growing Discord in the moment right now. For trading specifically, I don't think anyone's matching our growth. We're averaging roughly 100 to 150 new users every single week. And the reason on why that is because I actually speak the truth. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm actively changing lives on a day-to-day basis. Anyways, coming back into my point, if you do not have an edge, none of this is applicable to you, and you need to find a way to get a better edge in the marketplace, whether that be joining my Discord, whether that be joining anyone else's Discord that you guys enjoy. Trust me when I say you need to join a Discord, and you need to do it fast, right? If you guys want to if you guys want to succeed fast, you need to be as speedy yourself, right? Speed and efficiency loves, right, success, and money specifically loves speed and efficiency, right? If you can be a speedy person, right, and you can be a speedy person in all realms of your life besides obviously executing and looking at the charts, you will be a very rich friend no matter what you try at, right? So the biggest thing is recognizing, okay, right, now that I have a structured plan, I need to find an edge, right? I need to have an edge over the marketplace. I need a good model, right? Coming back to what I said, my Discord, right? If you guys like me, you guys like what I have to say, my Discord's a great viable option. Or there's plenty of other people out there that also sell a mentorship that still are good people and they give good value. So make your decision on who you like, right? Who you like as a person, who you like as a teacher, who you genuinely like on a personality basis. Then from there, make your core decision on saying, hey, okay, now that I have my edge, I'm going to focus on scaling, right? And for the second example of people, these are for people who maybe have made a lot of money outside of trading, right? Maybe have made a lot of money on a business, or they have a lot of money saved up from their work, right? And they're looking to get into trading as a way to make a lot more money than they currently are. My advice is still the same for you. If you cannot, right, and if you cannot get a payout on one account, what makes you think you will be able to handle the mental baggage that comes with copy trading 5 accounts, right? You're 5xing your contract sizing, you're 5xing the risk in terms of dollar amount, you're 5xing your take profit, you're 5xing everything, right? If you cannot handle yourself on one funded account, do not expect to do it on 5 or 3 or 2 even, or 4. It doesn't matter, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a multiple, and that multiple has a direct correlation with how you feel, right, and your psychology. So these are all things that we need to work on specifically when we're ready to do so. So once you are ready to scale, and internally, I promise you guys, once you guys know you guys are ready, you will know, right? Once you get that feeling of internal sensation of like, okay, I got a couple of payouts. Like, now let me go apply this to the second account. Now let me go apply this to the third account. Now let me go apply this to the sixth account. Now let me go do this on 12 accounts, right? Becomes a compounding snowball, right? That comes really fast, that comes really fast, but the biggest thing is making sure not to lose ourselves psychologically throughout that whole process, because that's one thing that occurs. Someone gets a payout on one account, right? Then they go up 5 or 10 accounts, they copy trade them, and they end up blowing it because they can't handle the mental baggage that comes with it. So if that's you and your personality trait is specifically like that, focus on 1, get a couple payouts on 1, then go to 2, then go to 4, right? And every time you level up, you need to get a couple of payouts, at least 1 payout from those accounts. So that's going to be it for scaling protocols. I wanted to add one more thing actually. Make sure, in terms of contract sizing, maximum you are adding 1 mini contract per 1 to 1.5% of profit that you add onto the balance. And you are decreasing at least 3 micro contracts for every 0.5% you lose. And this system will ultimately allow you guys to protect yourself and the longevity of your funded accounts, right? That's going to be it. I love you guys. That is going to be the scaling protocol, what my scaling protocol is for funded accounts, and how to scale with funded accounts at a rapid rate of return. If you guys need anything from me, my socials are always open. I'm going to leave the Discord link below if you want to take a look, you want to join. The price is going to be $99 for only a little bit longer. I'm going to up the price just because of how many people are succeeding. In the Discord specifically, I don't want this to become a very large Discord. I'd rather have it much more secluded where I can help more people because we're literally averaging 150 new users. So I'm going to up the price probably by double in the next couple of days. I'm not sure when. So if you see it at 99, slap it on if you guys want. But I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you get profits, and I hope you continue profiting and capitalizing specifically off trading. I'm going to be posting the withdrawal on that funded account that I made $6,000 on in the last 3 days. I will be posting that tomorrow, and I won't be trading the funded account specifically so I can make sure that payout gets requested successfully. But anyways, love you guys. If you guys need anything from me, all my DMs are open. And if you made it to the end of this video, comment the word scale, right? Comment the word at Salwan Nasiri. It's scaling time. Say it's scaling time. At Salwan Nasiri, it's scaling time. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next lecture.